Now Gary with sports.
Whose hair was that? So it's been a long time since we made one of these videos. Mostly because we didn't feel like making one of these videos. Mostly because we weren't getting along very well for a long time. And we're doing much better now. So we thought we would make a video about...
Actually, those would have been the best videos if we had filmed some stuff that was going down.
Maybe something will go down now. We're not really sure what we're making a video about right now, to be honest with you. When couples don't get along, the divorce word gets bandied about, and people, you know, sometimes they divorce when they think things are really bad, and this theory I'm developing is like, just ride it out, man, and it gets better. And kind of like those bully videos, it gets better. Because there was a time in April where we were really hating each other.
I don't think we were really hating each other, because if we were really hating each other, you probably would want to move forward with some sort of alternative.
That's what I'm saying.
Life.
I really hated you. No, that's what I'm saying. I really hated you. There were moments in April where I
think you really hated yourself.
Well, that's a whole other conversation, which is kind of what my perspective of you is filtered through me, so if I'm hating you, I'm hating myself, is a whole new Buddhist kind of thing I'm working on, so you're correct.
All that aside, I think that Monica and I went through something that's pretty common, pretty typical, called the 7-year itch. You know, we've been married almost 8 years in October.
Yeah, so. But does the 7-year itch start at like year 4 and go through 7? The 7-year itch is bullshit.
Well, we've been having a 5, 6, 7-year itch.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years. No, that's what I'm saying. That's what marriage is. There's no 7-year itch. Marriage is hard all the time. There's an itch every year. Mm-hmm. And so my point is, if you just ride it out, it gets better. There's no way I ever would have thought in April that it would get better. I thought it was just irretrievably broken. Like we were just not able to communicate at all. And I think we're doing a much better job communicating. And it's a totally different vibe. So what if we had pulled the trigger and got a divorce? That's just stupid.
Well, in our own particular situation, I think we kind of went to the bottom. You know, for the first time, I mean, Monica had suggested in years past that I give her some space, some room to breathe, so to speak. You know, basically, which meant she wanted me out of the house for a week or 2 weeks at a time.
No.
Which is okay, but I never did it. I just didn't want to. You know, to me, it was that was a huge step toward actually leaving, even for a week or two, was a huge step toward separation and or divorce.
This is another thing we disagree on. Like there have been times where I've asked for some space, where it's like, go on a trip, go stay with your mom, go do this, go do that, and just let me kind of get back to myself and figure some stuff out. He thinks that that's just like the step. Divorce is the next step after that. And I say, no, if you don't give me the space, I will kill you or get a divorce. So, you know, let me figure some stuff out and breathe, and it's all part of the cycle of marriage. So we disagree on the space thing. Having space isn't a step away from divorce. It's a good thing. We don't have enough space in our marriage. We're together all the time. All the time.
I know. I don't even know why you're sitting here with me. I'm actually really good on my own in these.
Because we're trying to showcase our loving dynamic.
I mean, I just feel like we're rambling. We're not really chasing.
This is the stuff. This is being natural.
Okay.
We're being natural.
Anyway,
natural.
I'm glad that we didn't end up getting a divorce. I never really intended to, but at certain times, you know, I was sort of like, this is a lot of bullshit, you know, and there were times when I was just seriously like, well, I don't want to be apart from my children. I don't want to be apart from Monica, but it just feels as if she doesn't want it, and I guess then at that point I start to think, well, maybe that I don't want it either, you know.
But see, you're making it sound like it was all me.
Well, you wanted me out of the house.
Initiating it.
You wanted me out of the house.
But that's because it was awful. Like, you would just rather exist in that environment, and you just seemed fine with that as status quo, like, just thick, awful tension.
No, but I think
so something had to happen.
I think a lot of what has happened has been your efforts at some sort of self-improvement, self-awareness.
Okay, so that when you say that, you're saying that everything is the same except for my perspective, meaning all along it's always been my fault that causes marital discord.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying for this particular point in time in our marriage where things had finally gotten to the point where you were insistent. Like in the past, you would insist that I go somewhere, but after a day or so, if I didn't go, we just carried on. This time it was like I knew that I had to go.
Because it was awful in our house, and why wouldn't you step up and say, let's do something, let's make, it can't stay this way. So you're making, what I'm saying is, you're making it sound to people like I was initiating this whole thing, when really, it was awful and you knew it, but you just would live in that, in passivity, as opposed to like being proactive and trying to make something happen differently?
Maybe.
So,
I might. I don't know.
I think what I'm taking from what you're saying is that you blame me for more of our marital troubles. Is all I'm saying.
Yes, that's what I am saying.
No, but that's crap. Is what I'm saying. Like,
no, I'm not saying.
But that's what it sounds like.
Okay.
You're saying, oh, well, now that you've changed your perspective, we're doing great. So all along, it was just your perspective that needed to change, Monica. And that's, I think that's part of it, of course. But
Well, listen, in any marriage, when there's trouble, it's two people that are involved. It's two to tango, and it's two to fix things up. And I certainly have made some efforts and some changes too, you know, and starting with the fact that I actually left for the first time, you know, having been told several times through the course of 7 years, leave, give me some space, I finally saw the writing on that proverbial wall and did go. You know, did I like it? No, it sucked. I hated it. I didn't want to be away from I felt as if, you know, and maybe it's just some sort of macho, masculine, stupid feeling, but I felt as if I was, you know, giving up, or if I was just weak. You know, that like me not being there, me not being able to say the right things, me not being able to show you the right behavior or make things right just by snapping my fingers, let me feel, you know, completely lost and down on myself.
I understand what you're saying, but sometimes you say wrong things. A lot of times you say wrong things. Mm-hmm. Perhaps I perceive them wrongly, but you also say a lot of lunkhead things. And sometimes it's just time to go and just let someone chill out and reevaluate and get some perspective. And that's all I wanted. And it, yeah.
Yeah, I guess, you know, it's not something that, it sucks. I mean, anybody that's ever had to do that knows, you know, whether you end up staying in a hotel or at a relative's house or a friend's house. Who stays in a
hotel? Rich people.
Yeah, look, if I had the money, I would have stayed in a hotel.
Yeah, I know.
You know, and then I probably would still be there.
They're staying on friends' couches and mother-in-law's.
Some people go to a hotel.
Rooms.
Tony Soprano went to a hotel.
Is there anything else left? This is kind of our introductory video back into the video making.
I feel as if we have come a long way in the better part of a year now. It's August, and I feel as if we're on a good track back toward where we want to be, and it's a long process. So if it would appear like, oh, this couple has had problems, who are they to talk about marriage? Well, that's actually, I think, something that makes us even better to talk about marriage and make these videos and stuff, is because we can talk about the things that have been bad as well as the things that are good.
Who asks that? We're not.
I don't know.
This isn't therapy. You're not coming here for therapy, are you?
I hope not.
I just like a peek in somebody else's world. I like to know what's going down. I'm a voyeur. I think it's cool. So yeah, this isn't a marital therapy session. So yeah.
All right. Well, everything I say, you shoot me down.
I haven't shot you down at all. Have I shot you down?
Yeah, you just shot me down my whole thing.
Well, you're used to being shot down, are you?